Hey guys, so today we're going to be reviewing taxonomy because you have a test on this tomorrow. So I'm going to go through these 3 questions as your review. Make sure that as I'm writing, you're copying the annotations down on your paper. So let's start with number 1. It asks me which of the statements below explains why Kingdom Monera was divided. I don't really know what that is, so I'm going to go back to my description to tell me if it gives me more information. There were once 5 kingdoms: Monera, Plantae, Animalia, Fungi, and Protists. All right, these 4 are current. Upon further research, Monera was split into 2 kingdoms, Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. These are also current. So these represent my 6. There used to be a kingdom Monera, and it's asking me what's the reason that it's split. So if I don't know it offhand, I can go about this question basically by eliminating answer choices. So if I start with A, bacteria can live in extremely acidic environments. Well, that's only true actually for Archaebacteria, not all bacteria. So this is just a false statement. All right, Eubacteria does not have cytoplasm proteins and histones while Archaea does. Well, this sounds like a plausible structural difference. Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to leave it open. I'll come back to it. Bacteria do not have nucleus. Well, no bacteria has a nucleus. Archaea and Eubacteria don't. This is a true statement for both, meaning it's not any information that would distinguish the two, so this can't be my answer. Archaea have no membrane-bound organelles. Well, I know that Archaea and Eubacteria are both prokaryotic cells, and prokaryotic cells don't have membrane-bound organelles. This is true for both. Therefore, it's not enough information to differentiate the two. Therefore, I'm left with my answer B. All right, number 2. Brackets, what is the relationship between the terms classification, taxonomy, and systematics? All right, so I know that systematics is simply a system for anything. I'm defining them down here just because there's not enough room for me to write up here, but you're welcome to write up here if you want. All right, taxonomy is a system for naming and classifying organisms. And classification groups organisms based on similarities. Similarities. Whew, okay. Yikes. All right, so my definitions are going to give me the key. When I look at my answer choices, it's essentially asking me to rank them from the broadest to the most specific. All right, so systematics is a system for anything that's super broad. Like it could be a system from brushing your teeth in the morning to measuring neural output from an exam, right? That can mean literally anything. So taxonomy says it's a system. All right, so taxonomy essentially is an example of a system. Therefore, it's going to be more specific than systematics. And then it says it's a system for naming and classifying organisms. Classification is simply a piece of taxonomy. All right, so that means that classification is included or is an example of taxonomy. Therefore, this is the broadest and classification is the most specific. If I know that systematics is the broadest, I know that my answer has to be A or C, so I can cross off B and D. All right, it says that systematics includes taxonomy. This is true because taxonomy is an example of a system. And it says classification is a type of taxonomy. Well, yes, because it's an example of taxonomy, which means it's a type of taxonomy. So yes, this is true. Therefore, my answer is A. All right, last but not least, number 3. So, which of the following, let me bracket, which of the following is a taxon of related class or divisions? So remember, taxon is a level of classification. There are 8 levels of classification. Remember, there's Katy, Perry, can only fart good songs, or domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. So it's asking me which of the following is a taxon of a related class or divisions. So related, I know. The most related is going to have the most taxons the same. So all of these are taxons. All right, so I always read the taxons from domain to species because you start with the broadest or the largest and you go to the smallest. It's asking me which is the most related to class. That means that all of these taxons, including class, are going to have the same name. I don't know any information about what's happening after, therefore they can't be my answer. So I can eliminate C because order comes after class. All right, now the most related is going to include the taxon that's the smallest, like the next smallest of class. So literally I'm just going to go one more above class, and that's phylum. So phylum is going to be the most related to class because they're the closest to each other, and phylum is the next smallest taxon. All right, so this concludes your review. What you are going to do now is make sure you put all resources away because you won't have any resources on your test tomorrow. You're going to go to this link, take your quiz. You're going to take it as many times as you have to get 100%. When you do that, make sure you raise your hand so I can check your screen and check you off. And then while you're waiting for me, make sure that you're answering all of the practice questions in the packet. Your time starts now. Have fun.